A Tour of Italy, All You Need to Know as a Foreign Exchange Student by Levita Payton. In this PowerPoint presentation, I have provided you with an overview of the topics that will be discussed on Italy. One of the topics will be the geography, population, and religion in Italy, primary language spoken, the major political organization, major industries, and social structure of Italy, verbal and nonverbal communication, their educational system, classroom practices, recommendations for studying abroad, and a video on student life in Italy, and two other videos have also been included in this PowerPoint presentation. Geography. Italy is located in southern Europe. It measures approximately 301,000 square kilometers. It is considered a peninsula extending into the central Mediterranean Sea, northeast of Tunisia, including Sardinia and Sicily. Looking at the map below, it can be easily seen why people say it is shaped like a boot. And I will reference you to see figure 1 on this PowerPoint presentation. According to CIA 2018, the weather in Italy is mostly Mediterranean and colder in the mountains. It is home to the most active volcano in Europe, Mount Etna, which is near to Sicily. See figure 2. Italy suffers from such environmental issues as water and air pollution, lakes damaged from acid rain, and lack of waste management and facilities. Who knew that? Could you imagine how that affects the country overall? That's something to think about. I would like everyone to tell me, what is Italy shaped like? Languages. The primary language of Italy is, of course, Italian. There are many other dialects in Italy, including Sardinian, Friulian, Neapolitan, Sicilian, Ligurian, Piedmontese, Venetian, and Calabrian. Milanese is also spoken in Milan. Other languages in the country include Albanian, Bavarian, Catalan, Cimbrian, Corsican, Croatian, French, German, Greek, Slovenian, and Walser. One religion that is predominant in Italy is Christianity. It makes up 80% of the population, with most being Roman Catholics. In addition, you will find small groups of Jehovah's Witnesses, Protestants, and another small 10 to 15% would include Muslims, atheists, and agnostic. I have included a picture of the Vatican. It is located in Vatican City in Rome, Italy. It is famous architecture. As you can see, the building is beautiful with a lot of monuments around it. It serves a religious purpose in that it's the central governing body of the Roman Catholic Church and home to the Pope. What I like most about the Italian social structure is the family element. Italian families are close. They usually have about 2 to 3 children, and even after the children become adults and get married, they still sometimes live on with their parents. This is normal. They become an extended nuclear family. This is more common in southern Italy as opposed to northern Italy. Families in Italy tend to eat at least one meal together, usually lunch or dinner. Their favorite foods are pasta, cheeses, and breads, and the food preparation is very important. They like to use a lot of emotion in preparing their food. They love to cook. They love to cook from scratch, meaning they make their own pastas, their own sauces. And in general, Italians tend to have traditional gender roles, with the man being dominant and the woman with a more domesticated present in terms of cooking and cleaning in the home, and the male being the breadwinner of the household. They celebrate most holidays as we do in the US, such as Christmas, New Year's, with the addition of Epiphany and Labor Day in May. In Italy, it is very important the way you dress. They judge you by how they first meet you and how you look. So if you walk around in sweatpants, they will not think highly of you. They consider the way you dress to be an indication of your social status, your family background, and your educational level. They are fashion conscious and truly do judge people based on their clothes. Italians typically do not eat breakfast. They just usually grab a pastry and have a cappuccino somewhere at a little cafe, and that is their breakfast. They will not sit down to a full breakfast as we do here in the US. The setup of the political organization in Italy is a unitary parliament republic. It consists of 945 elected members. It has two sections. One is called the Italian Chamber of Deputies, which is the lower house, and it has 630 seats, and the other is the Italian Senate, the upper house, and has 315 seats. The president is the head of the parliament, and he serves a term of 7 years. He is also head of the judiciary system and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. People are eligible to vote in Italy from the age of 18 upward. Italy has a lot of major industries, some of those being the number one actually being tourism. Then you also have machinery and iron and steel, chemicals, food processing, textiles, motor vehicles, and ceramics. It is also known for fashionable clothing, especially shoes. It's typewriters, refrigerators, washing machines, furniture, plastics, artificial fibers, sewing machines, inexpensive motor scooters such as the Vespa and the Lambretta, and cars from economical such as Fiat to luxury makes such as Maserati, Lamborghini, and the Alfa Romeo. Verbal communication. Italians love conversing with one another and are very animated in their conversations. Some conversations are often described as loud, but they also can converse eloquently, are very good at the art of persuasion, and Italian is also known as one of the language of love and passion. Italians are very expressive and use large hand gestures when speaking in order to convey their point. Nonverbal communication in Italy. Nonverbal communication in Italy is considered very important as gestures are used frequently throughout their conversations. They do not observe personal space, and it is viewed as a sign of affection or friendship to be in close proximity of one another. Direct eye contact is made upon the introduction and should be maintained. A kiss is given on each cheek, the left first and then the right, to close friends or family members upon greeting. Italians also enjoy sitting close to one another during conversations and use a light touch on the arm to non-verbally communicate. The educational system of Italy. In Italy, school is mandatory for ages 6 to 16 years. Their school system has 5 stages: kindergarten, primary school, lower secondary school, and upper secondary schools. These classes include all the basics, such as reading, writing, mathematics, and sciences. They differ in that all usually have an hour of Catholic religion requirement. As schools become more autonomous, this may change in the future. Italian schools also still teach cursive writing, as many countries have dropped that practice. It is no longer taught here in the US. Interestingly enough, Italy has a lack of qualified teachers, coming in at 52% in comparison with the 38% average in Europe. It is also deficient in many areas, including lack of laboratory technicians, instructional and other support personnel, and instructional and library materials. Some things to consider when in classroom is to be respectful at all times. Even though many teachers speak English, most classes are in Italian, so you really need to learn some Italian before you go there, else you may feel lost in classes. In Italy, they are big on socialization of students and they encourage unity, so many students stay in the same classroom group for many years. So they all become like a family. In addition, sports and extracurricular activities are separate and have to be paid for separately. So many Italians, if they can't afford for their children to go to these extracurricular activities such as music or dance or sports, then the child can't participate, which is sad and very different from the way we do it here in the US. So you're going to Italy to study. Here are some basic tips. Learn the language before you go. Useful survival phrases will help. Use such resources as television, newspaper, magazines, and practice speaking the language. Flashcards are helpful for basic phrases such as body parts, food, and grocery shopping. Experience the culture. Go outside, go to museums, listen to music, attend concerts, go to art galleries and social gatherings. Experience as much as possible and try to speak in Italian as much as possible. And travel to as many different cities as you can. Learn to live as Italians do. Customs will be different from what you have experienced at home. Embrace them. Make sure your trip is well thought out. Have your passport, visas, finances in order. Know the monetary exchange system. Make sure you have proper medical insurance. In addition, you should open a bank account and get an Italian credit card for emergencies. You may also want to get a cell phone in Italy. Yours may incur high charges if used in that location. You can use some video conferencing applications such as Skype, WhatsApp, and Viber to communicate, and some of these are also free. Social practices for students in Italy. It is common for the students to travel around and take in the various sites. You should go to as many beautiful cities to see the art, architecture, and history. Going for evening walks after 8 p.m. is something that is frequently done and is the norm. People love to walk outside and just chat with each other and meet new people. In addition to that, many students like to go to the carnivals, art galleries, historical sites, and party and participate in winter sports. Some benefits of studying in Italy. According to Zhu and Bargella Cepioni 2013, fostering a learning process from intercultural through cross-cultural to intercultural based on increasingly deeper observation, self-awareness, and reflection will encourage students' development along the etic to emic sequence. This particular type of studying will allow the student to experience firsthand the Italian culture and custom. It will allow them to gain an emic perspective of the country and perhaps change their worldview. It can also lead to new theories of ethic nature in that they have actually experienced the country from an emic perspective. Living there is the best way of learning about a different country.